Whether your dream life includes private jets or yacht parties or owning your own farm in the middle of nowhere or somewhere in between, wishing for it isn't enough. You have to take the steps to make it possible for you. We're gonna go deep today and maybe a little woo-woo as I show you how to manifest your dream life. I remember years ago when someone gave me the book The Secret and introduced me to the law of attraction for the first time, and I was like, all you have to do is just think about what you want and it'll appear. Well, that's not all that it is. And earlier this year, I read a book from Joe Dispenza called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which I want to talk more about in a little bit. But something that he shares in this book is that when your behaviors match your actions, when your actions are equal to your thoughts, when your minds and your bodies are working together and our words and our deeds are aligned, there's immense power behind any individual. That's a pretty powerful statement. And that book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, is one that I feel like I want to just listen to on repeat because there's so many just gold nuggets in that show you how you can have this immense power behind who you are. And think about the title of the book. In any goal you set for yourself, in any lifestyle or achievement you want to accomplish, it's going to require you to overcome challenges. And a lot of the time, the challenges, the common denominator, is you. And I can look back at so many areas of my life, whether it was a pattern of relationships or a constant challenge I kept hitting in my business. Like I could never get over that six-figure ceiling and needed to see like, what do I need to do next? It required me to shift in my mindset and in my identity. I have this little sticky note on my computer in my office that says be, do, have. And I'd love for you to write that down too, because I think this is gonna be a great reminder as you're going about your day-to-day life. And what I think of when I see this is, who do I need to be? What do I need to do to have what I wanna have? And a lot of people work backwards from have, do, be. Once I have $1 million, then I'll be happy. Not thinking about who they need to be at an identity level to do the things that they need to do to have the lifestyle, the riches, the luxuries, or whatever that life is that they want to have. And I'd love to hear from you. What does that dream life look like for you? Even if it's just a small thing or an emotion that you want to feel, let me know in the comments. So every time I see that sticky note, it's a reminder of, am I being the person I need to be to have what I want to have? It's not about the doing. You can't do your way there. A lot of us think that when we want to reach a new goal, we just have to work harder, we have to do more things, but we are not human doings, we are human beings. So if I think about the identity of the person that has what I want to have, so let's say if you're someone that you want to make $1 million, what's the identity of that person? Are they lazy or are they motivated? That's part of your identity and is going to guide your behaviors. Think about when you woke up this morning. When you woke up, did you go to the store and buy a pack of cigarettes? Now, for most people that I ask, they'll typically say the answer is no. And they're like, almost like, what? No. And why do they respond with that expression? Because it's so out of alignment with their identity, with who they are, that they wouldn't take that action and have that reality because they identify as a non-smoker. One of my biggest values that I've distilled down into one word that I want to make sure I'm always in alignment with is the word commitment. I believe that I can achieve anything if I am a committed person. That's part of my identity. So I make a very intentional decision if I'm given an opportunity or asked to do something. Do I believe that I can commit, that I can show up when I say I will, that I can play all out, that I can do exactly what I am committing to? If not, I say no. I don't want to overcommit, and I want to be committed to the goal that I have set for myself and the behaviors that align with that. And to me, commitment means getting up and playing even when you're hurt. Commitment means not taking your successes or your failures personally. Commitment means you get out of bed and you do the things that might feel hard even when you feel tired or feel scared or feel like an imposter, because commitment doesn't care how you feel. If you're committing to that identity as well, I would love for you to put in the comments below, commitment doesn't care how you feel. Make that statement with me. I want to know that you're committed to. Another quote from Joe Dispenza's book, To Manifest Anything You Want, is that your personality needs to match your personal reality. It's really your identity and your beliefs and removing those limiting blocks. So again, going back to the title of the book, to break the habit of being ourselves, we need to be constantly overcoming the self-imposed limitations. I think about this a lot because I think it's really important to pay attention to what you say you want and what you believe about your ability to have it. For example, let's say you go to a restaurant, your server comes to your table, you put in your order, you state what you want, and you expect that it's going to come. And in the meantime, you sit at your table with your company, your loved ones, you have a great time, great conversation. You're not constantly going to the kitchen asking, is it coming? When is it coming? How is it coming? Is it going to be ready? Is it going to be good? You've set the intention, you've asked for what you want, and in the meantime, you're content, you're comfortable, you're happy, you're living in your best life, in your highest vibration, and you know that it's coming. I also call this like putting out your Amazon order to the universe. Like you put out your order, you know that it's going to come. Sometimes it's, same day shipping, incredible. But in the meantime, you just expect it. You state it and you expect it and you live accordingly. You're not asking or checking on the how to make sure that it's coming. I can tell you I have been in business opportunities that I forced to try to make happen. I've been in relationships that I knew weren't working, but I tried to force them to work. And that forcing, that overcoming resistance might be a sign that this is not meant for you, and instead to live in who you are in your identity. And anytime you set that intention for what you want to create in your life and then ask how, it's almost like stating I am, but then immediately asking, am I? So if I state, I am a 7-figure businesswoman feeling fulfilled and happy, I believe that if you live in that intention, in that vibration, it will be attracted to you. But the idea is not to ask how, or to put a limitation on how that's going to be created. Because think of all the infinite possibilities for how that could come to fruition. Because if you think that it's going to be because of this funnel and this Facebook ad and this person is going to buy this thing, instead of what if it's you sitting on the plane and the person next to you has a business opportunity for you that you never saw coming? Or what if it's meeting someone at an event that loves your work and wants to pay you generously for that? Instead of asking how, we know and we trust and we expect and we live accordingly. So think about that anytime you set an intention or a belief or something you want to manifest, and then pull yourself out of that energy by asking how. That's you going from I am to am I? Now, before we go into some more of the steps that I've taken to manifest my dream life, have you subscribed to this channel yet? I want to give you all of my latest strategies for business development and personal growth, and the easiest way to stay in the know is to subscribe to my channel. So hit that red button below before we move on. Some of the steps that I am personally taking to manifest my dream life. It is really important to me that I am focused and committed to where I'm investing my time and energy. I have a mentor that I work with, and I'm gonna share with you a story that he said to me that it changed how I operate day to day. I'm someone that I certainly operated from a place of like overcoming challenges and working hard and doing anything that it takes to overcome that resistance, and still found myself feeling like, why am I never getting there? Or what's in my way? What do I need to do to be able to overcome this? And when I shared this with my mentor, he told me a story of how he was in a very similar spot, and he was asking his mentor the same question. And his mentor told him, which I'm so gratefully passed on to me and I'm now passing on to you, he said, Dimitri, some doors you have to pull to open. So it makes you think about how you're operating in your life, that if you're pushing instead of pulling, that instead of trying to force things into existence, what if we could just play and create? And so that's one of the things that I've now tried to shift my mindset into is, of course there's hard work to be done, and of course there's challenges that we're going to be given the opportunity to overcome, but can I also approach it from a place of creativity and play? I think about how I show up in my friendships, in my relationship, and think, can I show up with that same playful, creative energy in my business, in my work, in really any aspect of life? Doesn't that seem like the equivalent of pulling the door to open instead of trying to force something into existence? So instead of having this time-blocked calendar with do this here, and this is non-negotiable, sure, I certainly have non-negotiable things in my day that are fueling me from a place of passion instead of from a place of pain and trying to force things into existence. Now the non-negotiables are things like, I go to bar class in the morning. When I get my body moving, it gets my mind moving and my creativity flowing. That sets off the tone for the rest of my day. When I spend time before I get on any business meeting where I can write and brain dump my ideas or do just some creative writing, that gets me in flow that the rest of my day feels creative and playful instead of hustling and getting to the meetings and getting work done, checking things off of a list. Those are now my non-negotiables instead of the business stuff that was pushing instead of pulling. That said, I make sure to align my business planning with my need for play and creativity because I think that they're going to align. So I do annual, quarterly, and monthly planning with my team and with Steven so that we can paint the vision of what this looks like in terms of the work that we're excited to do and what we're excited to create both in business and in our personal lives. I really think that the creative energy that you bring to your business is very in alignment with the creative energy that you have in your relationships, in your personal life. And when they can merge, you will have what Joe Dispenza says, your personality matching your personal reality. That said, one of my skill sets that I'd love to help you with to create your dream life is helping you scale high ticket sales. So I'm also hosting a free private training that I'm gonna give you my highest performing, most revenue generating campaigns that you can just plug and play into your business to maximize your lead generation and sales. So if you wanna join us, click the link in the video description below to attend our Hello to High Ticket training. Think about when you woke up this morning. Now this backfires on me sometimes, so bear with me. Now most people, should I say most people? If someone's a smoker, are you gonna be offended? Because think of all the infinite, oh my gosh. Bruce Lee, he's been in a lot of I do team planning with my business, and I also do personal planning with my boyfriend. That seemed weird to say.